Very good afternoon to all of you. Sawasdee krab. Very great honor and pleasure to be here. I'm a great fan of Dr. Siri Kudenkunui, who has helped our company a lot and who has been the organizer for this now the second year. And yesterday, when I listened to the speech of Her Royal Highness, I was wondering how a person of such younger age, about 30 years younger than I, can have such a profound wisdom and what I have been doing the last 30 years. So, speech is about doing business with compassion as a business purpose. And often we hear that business purpose should be profit maximization. And I think that may apply to some companies, but 95% of our companies are small and medium-sized. And I think most of them bring better things to the world than that. Now, there's a very famous quote of the Dalai Lama, which you probably know. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you yourself want to be happy, practice compassion. And I believe, indeed, everybody wants to be happy. And I would like to quote from Her Royal Highness's speech. She said that, in short, happiness is the highest quality of life and contentment that every citizen must be able to enjoy in a truly civilized and flourishing society. I think also most people want to love. Most want to do what they love and love other people. If they know what it is, most people want to do what inspires them. And most prefer to work according to their strength. Most people like to be close to their friends. Most want to be valued. And most want to work to a higher good. When we work together happily among competent people who are also friends, what will we achieve as a result? When we all wish for something together, following the same purpose and vision, what will happen to the power of that wish? I believe that when we work according to what we just said above, we have laid the foundation for a sustainable business. Now the question is, can this be done for a big organization? I just talked about the small companies, which I think is very possible to do that. And I wonder whether you have ever wondered why religious institutions have been sustained for millennia. They all have a number of components of the aforesaid and actually have hoped to encompass all. And as you know, that Christianity has since recently a new pope. And when you hear him speak and when you hear him do, I believe we all agree that Pope Franciscus has all these aspirations. At BGRIM, we believe that if we do business with compassion for the development of civilization and harmony with nature, we work according to the needs of the 21st century and the wishes of all working people. Now in business, we have to answer three big questions, which you all sure have heard about. It's why, how, and what. Now doing business for the development of civilization and harmony with nature, that answers to the why. Doing business with compassion means to work with loving kindness, with compassion, with sympathetic joy, and with equanimity, which the Buddhists call metta, karuna, mudita, and ubekha. This is an answer to the how. And this is how human beings would love to be and would love to behave. Our first experience, our loving kindness from our parents and towards them. Deep in our heart, we enjoy giving more than taking. Actually, doing business is not about give and take, like it's normally said. It is about give and give, because it is a voluntary exchange of goods for money or other goods. Both are giving happily. Now, envy and jealousy hurts the jealous and the envious person. So if we have sympathetic joy for the success of others, we will feel good, the other person will feel good, and all come out fine. Equanimity in the face of adversity gives us balance and proper judgment. It also helps with moderation. So this is the framework in which we at BGRIM want to work. You have the 4 pillars on the side of the Gross National Happiness Center: good governance, preservation and promotion of culture, environment conservation, fair and sustainable socio-economic development. We work doing business with compassion, with metta, karuna, mudita, and ubekha. At the center, you have the principles of the sufficiency economy philosophy. And the values which are important for BGRIM is positivity, look at the world in a positive way, work with partners in the company, outside the company, and in our case, we really have to be super professional because of the businesses we do. And we think doing business with compassion for the development of civilization in harmony with nature should be a good answer to the needs of the 21st century. So doing business with compassion brings happiness to all concerned. So I just show you some pictures. Please go quickly through them. This is our work with the Gross National Happiness Center. And we got all the top management and many trainers and many companies involved. This is mindfulness before the meeting. This is what they do during these seminars. We have the executive sharing, action planning, experiential learning. And the important thing about, one moment please. Just now, Stephen Young of the Core Roundtable talked to me what he thinks is really important, how to get boards involved in understanding about sustainable business, how to work more from the heart. My answer to that is that I believe this is a really good idea and good direction. Important is self-development. I think if you're a hardcore business person who is really concentrating on figures, you want to have results and you want to have efficiency and effectiveness, sometimes these things don't talk to you. But when you have your own experience, when you have been with it for a while, then you can find out that this really works, and this is actually what we need. So sustainable leadership starts with yourself. Can you give the next one, please? And so you have in the happiness, you have the deep connection to yourself, deep connection to others, and of course deep connection to nature, which we of course often miss because we are not really that much in nature, it's living in cities. And this is more about the mindfulness program. So we have a compassionate professional program where we want people to use positive leadership, leadership as a coach, compassionate leadership essential, have positive activities, and use work as partners. And it has great effects. In our power plants, you see here there's one foreign face, and there's another foreign face. Actually, these are the only foreigners we have in all the power plants we have, and we do all the overhauls which are very complicated by ourselves. And you know that the government now is really supporting the dual vocational training, which is so important to build a middle class in Thailand. And we are happy to have been one of the first to introduce it to Thailand. And this is what we do. This makes the apprentices, they work in the company, get training, proper training by proper trainers, and go to the schools. We can do it alone, or we can do it with partners. These are the partners we work with. And I think partnership is so important in our lives. And we do the same with social partnerships. So there are many of them you know or may have heard of or not heard. So I think social partnerships are really essential. Now the what. So we talk about the why, talk about the how. And I think the what can be anything that creates value. So I just show you the list of what we do and how we started 138 years ago. That was with bringing modern medicines to Thailand. We built the irrigation canals in Rangsit. We introduced the first telecommunication into Thailand from Germany. We're having electricity plants and electricity equipment, cooling products, medical equipment, trains, ships, restaurants, spas, porcelain, buildings. I think you can dream up all kinds of products that bring value to society. And it's all a balancing act between the needs of the people and the needs of nature. And I think we all understand now, our businesses, we understand that on the last part, we have to be more. And we have to be active in society at large. So just show. So my aunt got the title for her charity work. My father was Consul General for Thailand for over 30 years, and he enjoyed much more than working in the company. Then, like every company, I think we do a lot of work that is helpful for society. And I would hope that you look positively at business at large, because what we show here, that is what most companies in Thailand do. So this is one of my favorite subjects now, because Thailand is one of the few countries in the world where there are enough tigers. And if you take away the leader of the food chain, then the whole ecosystem changes. So I hope you're all against the Mae Wong Dam, because if the Mae Wong Dam is built, then all the habitat of the tigers in Thailand will be in great danger. Now, when we put a name on the what, or the institution that is doing it, we will create a sustainable brand for the product, for the service, or the institution. These products, services, and institutions have to have certain uniquenesses and certain benefits that are special to them. And the business model has to evolve all the time, over time. So over 138 years, our businesses have changed and our business models have changed. What we therefore finally, and of course also initially need, are the persons with entrepreneurial capabilities. And I think we cannot talk about that often enough. Actually, you need it also in civil societies. Entrepreneurial desires and entrepreneurial talents are fine to have, but they are not enough. We need the entrepreneurial capabilities to maneuver the ship into the right direction in changing times and weathers. To have good leadership and management is not enough. If we have only these two, it will be like a teaching institution today, teaching the use of an abacus or a slide ruler instead of cybersecurity and the cloud. If we fail with entrepreneurship, the organization will be coming to its end, and there will be no sustainability. Therefore, all institutions, and I think this is a real urgent need, have to find a way to find entrepreneurial talents in their organization and develop them to establish entrepreneurial capabilities, either as individuals or as groups. And these people are sometimes not so comfortable because they want to go to new venues, new ideas. If we have them, the institution will be sustainable. In conclusion, we believe doing business with compassion, letting people do what inspires them, aligned with the company purpose and their strength, providing goods and services for the benefit of society in harmony with nature and with entrepreneurial leadership, will create a sustainable institution with sustainable brands. And I like to quote Her Royal Highness again. Business must nurture happiness, the most sought-after product of shared societal progress. It must begin by accepting the truth that human well-being is the basis of prosperity, which is as much the cause as it is the product of flourishing business. In recognizing happiness as the timeless aspiration of every human being, it makes absolute business sense to make happiness the primary purpose of business. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. If you also want to have others be be happy, practice compassion. Thank you very much.